Alrighty, everybody. So today we got an interview with David Mann, the Man Space, the legend himself. He is one of our top creators. You can watch all of his films on our platform, the IZSIt app. You can download it from the App Store. You can watch us online. You can watch us on TV, mobile, tablet, everything, guys. We are live. We are rolling. So without any further ado, I'm going to take you straight into the trailer, and then we're going to go straight into the interview. Enjoy. It's a load of fun. Watch his movies. They are fantastic. I mean, loads of skills, storytelling, consistency, everything that works. He put it all together. So well done to David Mann, and enjoy the interview. Ciao.
In the heart of the ocean lies an island forgotten by time. A treasure sealed away for centuries.
Let's go find out what it's hiding.
Soon enough, we shall be the ones calling the shots.
But some treasures were never meant to be found.
Just the place I'd choose for a nice long fall.
A curse as old as time.
I don't believe in none of that.
And those who seek it
A fate sealed by those who came before us.
Don't open that chest!
will pay the ultimate price. Some things are better left buried. But the past will not stay silent. The Pirate's Curse.
I love how you're always coming up with some really good and original work. And I was just watching this The Pirate's Curse again, and it's just it's really incredible what you managed to do there, consistency wise, storyline wise. The visuals, they're actually very, very strong as well. So you really packaged everything together. I feel like it was a real testament to what's possible. So well done.
Thank you.
First of all, well done.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
So I don't know, actually I would love to, I can't remember if you may have told me before, but what actually because you didn't come from a film background, you didn't come from, I don't know if you have any prior experience in film, but essentially you walked into the space, kind of strolled into the space, and actually come up with some of the best content that we got. So I appreciate how that happened. How did you go from where you've been to here in such a short space of time?
Sure. Yeah. So I've always kind of been a creative, and I used to work for a company, Dimension Studios, a video game design company. And I used to design video games, and it's always just kind of been a hobby of mine to just kind of find things to create. Right. And I kind of stumbled onto AI, actually. I saw a video on TikTok of this guy, and this was back when Gen 1 was around. So I don't know if you remember Gen 1, but you had to take a video of something and then type in what you wanted it to be changed to, and then the system would change that video into kind of what you were imagining. So that was where I started with it, and I was like, this is pretty cool. And then Gen 2 came out pretty quickly afterwards, and that's when, I don't know if you've seen my film Cholesterol Fills, but that's when I made Cholesterol Fills, and it's a total mess, but that's what makes it great. There's like people flying and stuff, and it's like it's just chaotic. But that actually exploded on TikTok. It got something like 500,000 views, and I wasn't expecting it, and I was like, hey, people actually like this, and I enjoyed making it. It's kind of funny, and I was laughing the entire time I was making it because it's just such a mess, and people enjoyed it. So I was like, I'm gonna see what I can do with this, and then I kind of got into a more serious, kind of trying to make the characters consistent, and then Frozen Shadows was my first film where I was trying to achieve character consistency throughout. And then I kind of upped it, challenged myself even more to do The Pirate's Curse with several consistent characters, which, needless to say, was kind of difficult. It's hard to capture multiple characters in the same frame, especially having them be consistent with the way AI is right now.
Yeah. No, it's quite amazing. I think that there must be some kind of secret to it, because I think a lot of people are trying have been on the same journey, but not everybody can produce, the same kind of results, even with the new technology. As AI continuously improves, it feels like every week or 2 weeks there's like a new announcement, a new release from some platform and stuff like that. But it definitely feels like, you have some sort of secret sauce. Maybe it's like the prompting that you're doing or something like that. The tools you're using. I don't know, but it's on quite a, it's on a really, really high level, and I can see that this will eventually get to the state where it's as good, if not better, than normal films.
Appreciate that. Yeah, honestly, it one picture, one frame, right? Like one scene, 5-second clip, to get the image exactly how I want it. If that's multiple characters or not, sometimes it takes upwards of an hour just to get that picture to look exactly how I want it to, because I'm doing a lot of post-processing, editing in Photoshop, using Photoshop's AI tools to imprint things that I want in there that aren't in there, things like that. So I spend a lot of time on the minor details in the different frames.
Yeah, and basically you're a one-man show. You're doing the whole thing, right?
Yes.
It's honestly phenomenal. I remember I can't remember if Chaos and Dustville came out before Pirates Curse. I think it was before, right?
It did. Yep.
Yeah, and so that was another one of your films, and I think that was really I think, which one was the first one that really caught my attention? I think it was one of the episodes of Chaos and Dustville that really caught my attention, and because it was, there were like a lot of the AI, struggling with. You could see that you're struggling with the AI at that time.
Yeah.
But the story was really good, and you made it work. The mistakes kind of, you went with that, and you used it in a way that it wasn't just like, it wasn't, it didn't take away. Somehow you worked with those mistakes, and it actually, in a way made it more funny.
I actually like the mistakes that AI makes. Sometimes it just adds to the chaos of the film, and Chaos in Dustville, being chaotic. So the first episodes I made of that were actually with early Gen 3, and you couldn't do image to video. You could only do text to video. So I tried to stay away from consistent characters, and I just thought it'd be a fun experiment. So whatever it gave me, even if it was a complete disaster, I was like, "This is perfect. Let's work with this."
Wow, I honestly, that must have been so hard in a way, but I can imagine also so fun at the same time.
It was, because you can't expect much with just text to video. You can't get consistent characters. You can't guarantee the scene that you're going to get. So to me, it was just kind of fun to type it in there, see what it gave me, and then just throw that together, and then do a lot of editing, obviously, on the back end afterwards. But just work with what it gave me, and it was kind of fun.
Yeah, so that's actually kind of bringing me to my next point I wanted to ask you about, which is like, how did you come up with the ideas for each of these films? Basically, I think that with the Pirates Curse, that one was clearly, I think you had a storyline that you wanted to create. It sounds like now, Chaos and Dustville, for example, that was something that kind of happened. Pull-out method probably also, I think you might have written that. So I think you're very dynamic, actually. Is that right?
Yeah, so at the Chaos and Dustville, I just thought it'd be funny to make some sort of, I did an old 1950s style film overlay on it. So I just thought it'd be kind of funny to make sort of this early Western film, like maybe it was never released in Hollywood, but it's like, could be, some film that was created a long time ago that just was never released. And I tried to make it like a style like that, and I was like, let's just make it complete chaos, And let me see if I can pull up my screen here. So here is the film that actually kind of sparked my interest in it. This is the one I made originally a long time ago.
Yeah. How long
and it
ago
was
was
old
this?
Gen 1. It's like 20 seconds long. So so the
Yeah.
story was about a pirate finding a map and going to search for a treasure, right? So this is original old AI, as you can tell. Um, so that's pretty much the end of the film right there. So I took that and kind of just ran with it in in my new film, The Pirate's Curse, and just kind of went along the same lines as that kind of storyline there.
Fantastic. So I can actually see some of the elements from the Pirate's Curse. There, like the ship and the sea. It's looking pretty
Yeah.
similar, and that island as well.
Right. Yeah. Just basic, find a treasure map. They set out on this epic journey. They find this island. They go explore it, and they find a treasure. And I was actually at a movie at the movie theater with my wife, and I was telling her, I'm like, you know what? I think I want to remake that old pirate film I made, but just make it so much better now that AI is just so much better.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what just sparked the idea.
That's so cool. Tell me about some of the exciting parts of making the Pirate's Curse.
Yeah, so honestly, the exciting parts were getting the characters down. I think that was probably the most exciting part for me. Was once I had the characters, and I tried to make them just kind of unique, like Hank. Hank is a really likable character in that film, and I tried to make him look like friendly, but also kind of hardened, and gruff, and just getting those characters exactly how I wanted them. I think was one of the most exciting parts because once you have them, you can bring a whole story to life and a whole universe, whatever you want it to be. Um, and I actually plan on using these characters in other films as well, and making them like actors, and being in different films. So it's going to
Yes.
be great.
Yeah, you're gonna cast your own characters into more movies, basically.
Right.
Brilliant.
Right.
I love it. I love it. I really, really love it. I would love to see eventually that people come to you and they're like, please, can we cast that character into this idea? We have this idea for that character. How cool would that be?
That'd be really cool. That'd be neat.
Yeah, that would be brilliant. Were there any other parts that you thought were really exciting about the character was so good. I could see that, with the main characters. What was the guy's name again? The one that you were mentioning,
Hank.
Hank.
Yeah.
He was very consistent. The main character, the girl, she was very consistent. And then the other two, Flynn, I think was the name of the other guy, and then the fourth guy was consistent. Even the guy with the silver hair at the end, he was consistent. You were very good with that, actually. That was
Thank you.
a really, I've seen people use those techniques where they scan people's face. I can't remember what the technique is called, and they still don't seem to get it as good as you did. So
It's really so much work, and it takes so much time.
yeah.
I wish there was an easier way to do it, but
Yeah.
there's just not, unfortunately. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
Like the film I'm making right now as well. Thankfully, AI is better now as far as film generations go. So it hasn't taken me as long. It's about a 10-minute film, and it took me about a month now, versus the 3 months it took me to make Pirate's Curse. But still, getting that character consistency and doing exactly what you want them to do, it takes a lot of time, which is why it took me almost a month still to do this, even though it
Yeah.
wasn't the videos holding me up.
Awesome. And so the tools that you're seeing coming out, they're actually useful as well. You're seeing them help you with your time, like improve the length of time it takes to make a film and things like that.
Yeah, so before I was using strictly Runway,
Yeah.
and I don't have anything bad to say about Runway. I've used it for 90% of my films. Um, with that being said, there are limitations. So you can't get a lot of action with Runway's video generation. So I've actually switched over to using Kling, and using Kling solely. I'd say about 90% of the material in my new film is made strictly strictly through Kling. So
Wow.
I found it to be a lot better.
Oh wow, that's an interesting. Yeah, I think I think that it's really nice to because Runway really helped so much with the community in the beginning. It's kind of
Mhm.
unfortunate that they sort of I'm here. The other thing is that there's so many tools coming from so many angles with so much
Yeah.
capital and resources and stuff like that. It's positive that overall that all of the tools are getting better, or that like people are switching tools to find new tools. But I have to say also thanks to Runway for always from the beginning they really moved the needle in the beginning.
They did. They really did. And that's why I was loyal to them for so long. And I still utilize them for lip sync and stuff. But if I'm going for a complex scene with a lot of movement and things that I specifically want done, I find that the prompt adherence is just a little bit better with things like Kling. Minimax is good as well. Minimax is actually really good. But I've noticed that they tend to sometimes make the characters animated, even if you provide a photo. So anybody who's entering the scene, or if the character does anything like turn around, if his back's facing originally or something, it makes them kind of animated. So all in all, I found Kling a little bit more consistent in that.
Yeah. No, that's good to hear. It's good to hear that there are tools coming out and that they're useful, and that it's making life easier. It's pretty crazy. It's really a revolution if you think about how long
It
it
is.
took to make a normal movie. It's like it's just like fractions. I don't think a person on their
Right.
own can just make a normal old movie. I mean, just the cameras alone were so expensive.
Oh, seriously, yeah. This
Absolutely.
definitely streamlines the process, makes it a lot easier for the average person to get involved. If they have a story that they want to tell, they can do it so much easier now with the tools that are available to them.
Yeah. Cool. I want to ask you also about you've been part of some film festivals, I think, not
Yep.
just one, others as well.
Yeah, a couple of them actually.
Cool. Yeah. Tell us all about the film festivals, where they were, what it was like being part of them, and then whether you won awards there and everything.
So first off, I wish I had won an award there. I got recognition for the films, and I made a lot of contacts while I was there. But it was in the Arizona Film Festival, and it was also in the LA Film Festival. So I couldn't make it to the Arizona one. My baby had just been born, so I was like, he's 2 weeks old. I'm like, I can't really tell the wife I'm up and leaving, for a couple of days. So, but I did go to the LA one. That was a great experience. It was good. I met a lot of really nice people there, networked with some folks, and there were some really good films there. The artistic ones ended up winning the awards. And I think that's kind of what AI is focusing on now. I've noticed that a lot of the awards and a lot of the things like that are winning competitions are more artistic, not traditional film like what I do, like an actual story, a full film. They're more just an artistic touch on things, and which is that's great. I wish my films had done a little better, but they got in there, and I made some connections out of it, so that was worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, I must say, in terms of like IZSIt and what we like, we're very much an entertainment platform, and so that's why we love your work, because it is more along the lines of building stories and characters and things like that. So for us, it is very much about that. But I also, we also just want IZSIt to be like a creative space. So we would like to see all kinds of content on there, really. And if people engage very well with artistic work, we will have that on the platform too. I think it's just very important to entertain people with AI. I think it will be while I'm saying this, it's like I want IZSIt to kind of just be as free as possible, that people can do as much as they can, as much as they want, and just use like this resource of AI as, in the best way to express themselves, and also for people to enjoy it, you know.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like, I don't know. I think that, you know, I think the entertainment part is very much very much important, you know. We'll have to try to find a way to manage everything well on the platform, I think, you know. It's always a challenge for us too.
I can imagine that would be a little difficult to figure out exactly what the crowd wants, you know, and then be able to deliver that, find the creators who are making that sort of content, you know, and making it consistently and good, and then being able to get them on board and stuff. I can imagine that would be a challenge.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you want to talk about some of your future work.
I'm indifferent. I have a couple things in the works right now. You know, I'm currently making a film for a company, kind of a production company that is trying to work advertisers into short films, so product placements and things like that within short films. So they're it's kind of an interesting business model, but I'm making a film for them right now. It's going to be a really good film. It'll probably be out and about on YouTube, probably on their YouTube. And then as far as future films I'm going to be making that I'll be putting on IZSIt, I'm planning on doing chapter 2 of Chaos in Dustville. And then,
right, brilliant. That's exciting.
Yeah, so it'll be a whole new series, you know, probably of another 5 or 6 episodes. And I'm also making a longer kind of feature film as well, sci-fi thriller. So
brilliant. Yes,
quite a bit in
I actually remember talking to you about that one, that feature film. And I want to ask you actually, because you know, what's very interesting as well, and it's how you, because originally you did what's it called, Chaos in Dustville. You did that in little bits and pieces, and then you strung it all together at the end as one chapter. Are you planning on releasing like you know, little chunks of chapter 2? Or are you going to put it together like you put up chapter 1 all in one go on the platform? Because we would be happy with both, basically. I think it's just interesting to play around with the different ways of doing it, essentially.
Right. So what I plan on doing is actually I'm going to be releasing chapters again. So I'd like to try to make them, before they were like 45 seconds to a minute, I'd like to make them all about 2 minutes long, and then just uploading them to IZSIt and YouTube as individual episodes, you know, once a week. And then I'd also like to, once it's all done, compile it into one long form video as well. So have both options for those who are interested in watching it in you know, an episode form, or just they want to just watch the whole thing all at once. Brilliant.
Awesome. So actually, yeah, is there anything else that you would like to mention? You know, I think we got pretty much everything that we wanted to talk about here, but if you have something else that you want to bring up, you know, we're happy to chat about anything, basically.
Yeah, no, I just want to thank you for the opportunity that you've given myself and other AI creators. You know, there's not really much out there right now in this form and streaming platform. You know, I really appreciate the opportunity that you've extended to us. And I'm excited to see what happens with IZSIt. I can see that there is a need for this type of platform. And I think it'll do great. And I'm just excited to be a part of the development.
That is so cool. Honestly, I didn't expect that. I'm really happy with those really kind words. You know, we are really just trying to support the community and do everything for the community here. And I honestly believe, like, in the marrow of my bones, that there is something that will come out of this. There is an opportunity for new people to come into the film space. You know, I was looking at some of the numbers when we did that release of the forecast for 2025, and it's crazy how few people actually work in films. And it's because it's like only 2% or 1% of all the people that apply to those jobs actually get jobs and can make a living out of it. So it's pretty nuts. And the numbers are so low in the whole of the United States, which is basically the biggest industry of filmmaking. There are less than 500,000 people working in that space,
Yeah.
And just through IZSIt, if we only want to work with like the top 1 to 5% of creators, filmmakers that use AI, and we think, there's like a talent pool essentially of tens of billions of people, and we'll be working with like 1 million or maybe I think it'll probably be about 1 million creators.
Right.
So it's just actually kind of sad that Hollywood hasn't been able to capture all of that creativity and all that talent in its existing form. And so it's for me, like running the numbers, I could just like 1 million people, making expert level kind of movies. That's a lot, IZSIt itself would essentially be providing for more people in the entire Hollywood, which is nuts.
That's pretty cool to think about.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool to think about.
It's really nuts. So it's so exciting, and you're really like at the forefront of the whole thing. And so actually what I wanted to tell you, I don't know if I mentioned this to you before, but basically, at IZSIt, we want to start supporting creators very, very soon. So we're a growing business. We are trying to take the community to a next level. We're trying to show people that this can work, that this can generate, an audience that wants to watch this. I have no doubt in my mind that within the next year it will be like very, very prevalent to have AI in all sorts of films, not in Hollywood too. But a part of it is to support some of the creators, and so we wanted to let you know that we kind of knew since the beginning, since we started watching your work, that we wanted to work more closely with you. And when we ready and we got the platform and it's rolling and everything, which will be in the next couple of months, we want to extend to you to become one of our original creators at IZSIt, which means you will be receiving financial support from us, and financial support from us directly, as well as we want to assist you with crowdfunding for any of your next projects. We really think that you can create some incredible work, and we would love to be a part of that and help you succeed with that and be part of that success.
Wow, I was not expecting that. Thank you. First off, no, that's great. I would love to. Love to. So would that be making films specifically for your platform kind of thing, like exclusives?
Yeah, it would be like exclusive work with us. It would be exclusive with us. Essentially, what we would like to do is support in a way where we're like investing in the creator, right? And what we would like to do is then build intellectual property with that, and then use that intellectual property to basically eventually come up with like franchises. So these are kind of like big ideas that we think will roll on, and these initial investments will be initial investments, and then anything that has future potential, we double down on those investments, and make and try to grow those. And what we see that this is like a way to make really long-term growth in the sector, and it's very interesting to get involved in it at this early stage, when it's all new and so exciting. We'll basically be the first ones. I've heard other companies having funds, I think 2 at least, who have who announced funds like we have, but I have never heard anybody receiving any of it. We're very, very committed to this, and we want to make this happen. So I bet my bottom dollar on it. I'm putting everything into IZSIt, and so is Erasmus, who's on the call here. And we'll do everything to make sure that happens. And I don't know what will happen if it doesn't, because I think we won't be here anymore.
No, I don't think there's going to be any difficulty with this platform taking off at all. AI videos are taking off, and it's just getting better and better. The quality is getting better. The filmmaking itself is getting better, as these AI creators, and myself included, make more films. We just get better at tailoring them to what we want them to do, and getting our message across, whatever we're trying to create, our image, our vision, and it's getting easier to do it. So I think AI is going to take over. I think personally, like you were saying, Hollywood has an aversion to in adopting AI. They do, but I think that's where their shortcoming is going to be, because these people. We make these films, and some of them, it's hard to say it rivals Hollywood, but it's getting to the point. AI is just advancing so much that it's getting to the point where it could rival Hollywood films in the future.
I 100% believe it. I mean, we back that. We're investing for that, and we want to see like Game of Thrones level, Star Wars level kind of stuff coming from AI. So that's the direction that we're going in. It's bizarre to me that that you get, what happened in 2023 with the strikes was 11,500 people, maybe 12,000 people went on strike. And it prevented like what we at IZSIt are looking at is like millions of people from making films and distributing them in Hollywood. And every single streaming platform signed it. Every single major studio signed it. It's like amazing for 11,000, 12,000 people. And now the opportunity is there for like millions of people to get involved. It really didn't make a lot of sense, but that's what opened up the doors for IZSIt. I don't think that that these other streaming platforms will stay like this. I think that there will be some sort of blend over, and this is also what we're trying to do with by investing in a creator like you. I think eventually that Netflix will allow the films to be on their platform, and the other streaming platforms as well, and any other distribution channels. They will adopt it eventually, so we're not strictly just like IZSIt and that's that. There is an industry, and the industry kind of works together in a network, and you'll find sometimes that some content is on one platform, and then the next month it's on another platform, and some seasons are on one platform, and the other seasons are on others, and it's just who's buying that's paying for that license, who's licensing that content. So that's pretty much the game that we would like to get into, is where people are licensing the content that we've invested in together with the creators, and built up this from the seed level, the content, and being there since the beginning. So that's sort of the progression that we would like to see. And if that progression doesn't happen, well then, we're expecting 100,000 releases of films on the IZSIt platform every single year.
Nice.
Of the velocity of films that can be made, using AI. So, if they don't want to do it, then, we'll have a lot of content on our platform that, I think people will eventually just shift away from the more established old school. If they go that route and they stay old school, they will shift away, because there's a business model of IZSIt, which is a free plus free with advertising. So we cover a lot of costs with that. And then there's also the subscriptions without the advertising. So, we will eat into that market share if they don't, into their market share if they decide not to change,
Yeah, absolutely. Got to change with the times,
Oh, yeah.
And I actually did get a request from a traditional streaming platform. It was one I wasn't familiar with. It's in indie films mostly.
Oh, yeah.
And they wanted my Pirate's Curse on there. And I went to upload it and then ran into some technical issues. So I reached out to him a few times and never heard back. So I was like, oh well, whatever. IZSIt's got it. So there it is.
Yeah. If Erasmus is still there, he's been such a major help for me, for the company. There he is. He's been such a, that creator portal was very much him, all him basically. And I'm so grateful that he jumped on board with this idea, and it's been a much better journey having him on board, and working with the likes of you too, David. I feel like we got a really good thing going on here.
I feel the same. And again, I appreciate the opportunity you've given me and all the other AI creators out there.
All right, David, thank you so much for your time. Really, it's been a great chat. I look forward to continuing this in the long term with you. Again, we want to support you. We want to invest in you. And we want to help you. We want to do some crowdfunding as well. We're building crowdfunding now. We pretty much committed to it today or yesterday.
Nice.
That's going to happen. And I think this will all help democratize filmmaking and help people make a living out of it and enjoy some of their passions. And you're clearly so good at it, and you're clearly having a good time doing it. It's perfect.
Thank you. It's exciting. I'm glad to be a part of it. Thank you again for the opportunity.
And thanks
you, David.
It's not possible without you. So thanks a lot.
Thank you. All right. Have a good evening. Take care.
You too.